We have entered yet another installment of the Elon Musk versus Donald Trump battle. This time it's over whether or not the Jeffrey Epstein client list even exists. As I reported overnight, Axios suggested, based on a new Department of Justice and FBI joint memo, that the Jeffrey Epstein client list that so many people had been talking about for years just simply does not exist. The memo also found that Jeffrey Epstein did commit suicide, and there is no evidence, according to the Department of Justice, that Epstein blackmailed powerful figures or kept a client list. Now, this contradicts what Elon Musk had been saying publicly. Remember, Elon Musk previously tweeted out suggesting that Donald Trump was on a so called client list of Epstein's. And this morning, Musk mocked Donald Trump on Twitter, posting a quote, Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter image with just 0 arrests on it. Musk captioned it, What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again. Meanwhile, other Republicans, including those closest to Donald Trump, like Laura Loomer, are slamming Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI, saying that essentially that they are trying to cover up the real evidence in the Epstein case. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to my Substack to support my work by clicking the button below or sending a one-time donation to support via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. We'll see what happens with this MAGA infighting today, as Donald Trump is expected to announce potentially additional tariffs or, in the unlikely scenario, trade deals with countries around the globe. Let's talk about Texas floods, because there's a lot of information overnight. Right now, at least 82 people are dead. Dozens remain missing after the deadly flash floods near the Guadalupe River, which rose 26 feet in just 45 minutes. 11 remain unaccounted for, including 10 girls and a camp counselor from Camp Mystic, which was an all-girls summer camp in the area. Kirk County has confirmed 68 deaths, including 28 children. 10 more deaths were reported in surrounding counties. 850 people were rescued. Over 400 responders are still involved as rain is hampering efforts. It is still raining in this area. Officials are warning of another potential surge due to saturated ground and continued rain. Now, Donald Trump will be visiting the areas on Friday. He declared a major disaster declaration. Questions are still mounting, however, whether authorities gave sufficient warning, whether or not the Trump administration's cuts contributed to the lack of official warning that was received by those living in the area. So we're going to have to see how this plays out over the next several days as Donald Trump visits the area. In other news, the Trump administration is once again calling Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation a, quote, one-off mistake and a, quote, administrative error, despite previously firing a lawyer and suspending another for making that same exact claim. Talk about tariffs. So remember, July 9th is the current deadline for tariffs for countries around the world. Donald Trump instituted the reciprocal tariffs back in April. Then he paused it for 90 days. July 9th is that 90-day deadline. But when asked whether tariff rates change on July 9th or later on August 1st, Trump gave a vague response saying the tariffs are going to be the tariffs, adding most countries would be settled by July 9th by either receiving a letter indicating what the reciprocal tariff rate will be, or some type of trade deal, which is looking increasingly unlikely. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick clarified that they will take effect on August 1st. But as I previously reported, according to White House insiders that spoke to Politico, it seems as though this whole tariffs thing is just a game and none of it is actually real. When asked if the Commanders should revert back to their previous name, the Washington Redskins, Donald Trump said he would make the change, adding that the new name lacks the same, quote, ring, though winning could make, quote, Commanders sound better, even though the Commanders literally were one game away from the Super Bowl this past season. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the United States will make several trade announcements within the next 48 hours, noting a surge in new offers and proposals after a shift in negotiation tactics. A trial begins today in Massachusetts challenging the Trump administration's ideological deportation policy targeting pro-Palestinian foreign students, marking the first time the government must defend its claim that it can deport non-citizens solely based on political speech. And Donald Trump is threatening an additional 10% tariff on countries aligning with BRICS, which is an alliance led by Russia and China. That's all the news right now. I'll have more news throughout the day and into the evening, so spread the word, subscribe to support my work by clicking the button below, or send a one-time donation to support via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you soon.